गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारे गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारे यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन जमुना तीर वनचारे जमुना तीर वनचारे जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारे गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारे यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन जमुना तीर वनचारे जमुना तीर वनचारे जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारे जय ओम विश्वपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद इस डिवाइन ग्रेस भय चरणारविंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी जगतगुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ISKCON बेबी फाउंडर-आचार्य जगतगुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो से कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रजमयी वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवदीप मायापुर धाम की जय। जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगा माई की जय। जमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। तुलसी महारानी की जय। समावित भक्त वृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees. Glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 9, chapter number 19 and text number 20. King Yayati achieves liberation. Drashtam, Shrutam, Asat, Na, Buddhva, Na, Anudhyayit, Na, Sandishit, Smritim, Cha, Atmanasham, Cha, Tatra, Vidvan, Saha, Atmadrak, Drashtam Srutam Asadbuddhva, Nanudhyayenna Sanditeshit, Sansrutim Chatmanasham Cha, Tatra Vidvansa Atmadrak, Drashtam Srutam Asadbuddhva, Nanudhyayenna Sandishit, Sansrutim Chatmanasham Cha, Tatra Vidvansa Atmadrak, Drashtam Srutam Asadbuddhva, Nanudhyayenna Sandishit, Sansrutim Chatmanasham Cha, Tatra Vidvansa Atmadrak, Mothers. Drashtam, material enjoyment we experience in our present life. Shrutam, material enjoyment as promised to the fruity workers for future happiness, either in this life or in next, in heavenly planets and so on. Asat, all temporary and bad. Buddhva, knowing. Na, not. Anudhyayet, one should even think of. Na, nor. sandishet should actually enjoy samsritim, prolongation of material existence, cha and atmanasham, forgetfulness of one's own constitutional position, cha as well as tatra, in such subject matter, vidvan, one who is completely aware, saha, such a person, atmadrak, a self-realized soul. Translation and purport by His Divine Graces, Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīmad Prabhupada. One who knows that material happiness, whether good or bad in this life or in next, on this planet or on heavenly planets, is temporary and useless. And that an intelligent person should not try to enjoy or even think of such things is the knower of the self. Such a self-realized person knows quite well that material happiness is a very cause of continued material existence and forgetfulness of one's own constitutional position also. The living entity is a spiritual soul and the material body is his encagement. This is the beginning of spiritual understanding. Dehino asmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantar praptim dhiras tatra namohyati. As the embodied soul continually passes in this body from boyhood to youth and to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. The self-realized soul is not bewildered by such a change. This is in Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, 13th verse. The real mission of the human life is to get free from the encagement of the material body. Therefore, Krishna descends to teach the conditioned soul about the spiritual realization and how to become free from material bondage. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. The word dharmasya glani means the pollution of one's existence. And our existence is now polluted and it must be purified. Sattvam suddhayet. The human life is meant for this purification, not for thinking of happiness in terms of external body, which is the cause of material bondage. Therefore, in this verse, Maharaj Yati advises that whatever material happiness we see in whatever is promised for enjoyment is all merely flickering and temporary. Brahma bhuvanan loka punaravartino Arjuna. Even if one is promoted to Brahmaloka, if one is not freed from material bondage, one must return to this planet, Earth, and continue in the miserable conditions of material existence. Bhatva bhutva praliyate. One should always keep this understanding in mind so as not to be allured by any kind of sense enjoyment in this life or in next. One who is fully aware of this truth is self-realized, sa atmadrak. But aside from him, everyone suffers in the cycle of birth and death. Mrityu sansara vartamani. This understanding is one of the true intelligence, and anything contrary to this is but a cause of unhappiness. Krishna bhakta nishkam ata eva shant. Only a Krishna conscious person who knows the aim of an object of the life is peaceful. All others, whether karmis, jnanis or yogis, are restless and cannot enjoy real peace. Om ajnanatirandasya jnananjana salakaya chakshul militan yena tasmai Sri Guruve namaha Sri Chaitanya manobishtam stapitam jena bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Shri Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavemyo Namo Namaha Namaham Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. This is the peace formula, and it was presented in 1960 in United Nations. Srila Prabhupada was bold enough, and he would comment that every year there is a new flag, so they are disunited United Nations. They do not know what is peace formula. I mean, when you see the instructions in Bhagavad Gita that Bhaktaram Yagyatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suridam Sarvabhutanam Gyatvam Shantim Ruchati. Just by knowing all the three things only, you will get peace. But what is disturbing us? What is disturbing our peace? Are Baba, ignorance. 3 modes of material nature. You blame to material nature. But ignorance is the cause. And the material nature, she is the best education. Everything Krishna created, it's for our education. Even the 5 senses are for our education. But envious as we are, we came to enjoy. Now, how come in spiritual atmosphere, being inimical to Krishna, you can enjoy? No. There cannot be duality there. Only my way or highway. Krishna's way, or then you fall off from there. So, ichcha dvesha samuttena dvanda mohena bharata sarva bhutani sammoham sargayanti parandapa. Moha is an attachment for sense gratification. And that has caused by mode of passion. We think passionate nature is the principle for this Kali Yuga. No. Passionate nature was a ruler. But in Kali Yuga, passionate nature is inflamed so much that everybody wants to become king and enjoyer of whatever they serve. So therefore, it is too difficult that neither we can enjoy and neither we allow others to enjoy. How could you enjoy without me? I should be the enjoyer too. Bhaktaram yakyatavasam. They do not know. The ultimate bhakta is Krishna. But why Krishna is not direct bhakta? We are understanding probably in a not a direct way, but alternate way. When we fail directly, we take alternate path. The direct path is so royal and nothing to worry. But envious nature will not allow us to do that. An envious person is never happy. All these situations that Krishna created is for our peaceful existence, even though it is temporary in the material world. But if we cultivate mode of goodness, then sense of happiness will also come. But at the same time, the knowledgeability will make us stuck in the material world. The result of mode of goodness is also not that much efficient to bring us out from the ignorance. Of course, it's a good medium because it is always said sattva-avalambi parasattvam vishuddha sattvam govindam adi purusham. It gives us opportunity to come in the mode of transcendence, parasattva. And vishuddha sattva is the state of Lord Shri Krishna. So we will be able to enter in his realm, knowing his personality, his divine qualities, as well as activities. That is called Leela. Nama Rupa Guna Leela. And in this material there is no other alternative, but only the holy name has been endowed as the only thing that can purify our ignorance and brought to the normal state of Krishna consciousness. All right? There is nothing else. So how come there are all other shops open selling some subordinate things? Even though it is written in the Shastra, envy. One cannot become a devotee directly. Either he is introduced to devotional service by a Vaishnava, or he might have inherited some meritorious activities from previous life that he can continue. And eventually, to make any progress further, you need association. Ādau Shraddha tato sadhu sangha. So, sadhu sangha will make us realize eventually that we have to get liberated. And we become fixed only in sadhu sangha. We saw yesterday also, Kapil Dev is instructing his mother, pushing into the very first activity. For her getting liberation, Kapil Dev says, Mother, you should do sadhu sangha. Satam prasangam mama virya sambhida bhavanti radhakarna rasayana katha tajjoshanavam apavarga vartamani sraddharati bhaktir anukramasyati. It's a stepwise thing. It's not a, one shot and you are done. If you go to the temple only one time in the life, do you think you are done? No. Because from time immemorial we have been separated from Krishna, and how come we'll be able to rectify that mistake in one shot? So, Anadir means from time immemorial. Anadir jiva bhogavancha kare maya tare pashe tere jhapati adare. इसको झापट पड़नी ही चाहिए. If personal experience you will get when you go to Nathadwara and Jhapatiyas are there. They are called Jhapatiyas. Jhapat, he will give a kind of slap by his muffler or whatever it is. But get out from here. Why? It's completely an opposite character. Maya, his jhapat is different. But in loving devotional service, jhapat is also having another function, to increase our love of Godhead, intensified desire to have darshan often. So people get japat, go there and come back again to get another japat. That is the style of darshan in Nathadwara. It is meant that if you see Lord Krishna with your material eyes, then Krishna will be affected. That is the fear. That is the fear. But that fear is filled with love. Mother Yashoda expressed, and in Nathadwara, Balya Lila is only permitted by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they try to invoke so many sentiments of Mother Yashoda in deity worship. Jhapat is one, then Parda is another one. They often close and open, close and open. Actually, we should not have too much of audience with the Lord, because we will not be able to understand the higher taste, because we are not liberated. We are not liberated. We are enthused to perform devotional service, but our devotional service is Vaidhi Bhakti, not Raganuga. Raganuga is there, but it is after maturity. And those who adopt Raganuga directly and impelled, according to Haridas Thakur, they would not enter into sthai bhav. Sthai means permanent emotion in the relationship with Lord Sri Krishna. Vatsalya bhav is the target in Vallabha Sampradaya, right? But ours is Vrindavan, Ramya Kachidupasana, Vrajavadur Vargaja Kalpita. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's target. So, it does not matter. We do not have this curtain close, open. No. So, material bondage in Kali Yuga can be eradicated by Krishna conscious process. At least in our active period, the youthful, artha kam that we are doing, but it can be regulated. You can simultaneously fulfill desire of Krishna as well as your services to please Krishna in ideal grasthashram. All right. but with full knowledge that ultimately, not all of a sudden, but ultimately we have to give up. So it gives us enough time and intelligence by all different, variables that Mother Nature imposes upon us. So we have to tolerate, but remain confident that we'll be definitely liberated at least during this end of life. Anta kalecha mameva smaran bhaktva kalevaram. So association is extremely important. There is no other organization, including 2,000-year-old church system, even in Christianity, to give association. Srila Prabhupada instituted in ISKCON. So, even though we may not be occupying that significant place in the world religion, we are only 50-year-old and they are 2,000-year-old. They still struggle, but we are jumping and limping, to make very tangible progress. Every time, every year when I pass through, not only Melbourne, but everywhere, we see progress, no regress. Christians have to sell their churches. We don't sell our temples. We try to save temples just to give association wherever it has been opened up, right? Even so many faults and so many steps that were required to purify us further by taking the responsibility of the mistakes. We never hide mistakes, expose mistakes. How much can you hide our impurities? But in association of the devotees, impurities can be easily rectified. So therefore, even in aparadhas, association of the devotees will nullify our aparadhas except the first one, to blaspheme the devotee who is dedicated in life. That is completely out of envious nature. And envious nature becomes completely blind and he will not be able to rectify so immediately unless he is given the hardest lesson. Right? And that is the jurisdiction of Krishna. Just like Durvasa Muni got that lesson. It is Krishna's jurisdiction. Devotees do not. And it doesn't mean that devotee is suffering. Did Ambarish Maharaj ever felt the curse of Durvasa Muni was a suffering? We never hear that. So, because he was in sthai bhav, very steady emotions developed by serving Lord Shri Krishna. Tesam satata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamupayantite. The intelligence is always coming as the mercy of the Lord, even though we have not acquired yet. Krishna says, you keep on trying, I will supply you intelligence. We are born in the darkness of ignorance. Ajnanatimirandasya. So, naturally, we didn't have intelligence. But this process of Krishna consciousness exposes us to the reality. Na sato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate asat. Ubhayorapi drashtuvanta tattvadarshibhi. Only tattvadarshibhi are called intelligent, and they know it, that for real there is no cessation and for unreal there is no endurance. So these are our cardinal principles that we learn in association. And we see Krishna consciousness gives the guarantee, not lip service, but guarantee by personal realization. It's not that you depend upon somebody else's realization and you carry on. No. Every individual is gifted personal realization. But we have to go through the channelized process. The process is Krishna consciousness. Vidyate hridaya granthi chindyanti sarva samshaya kshiyante chasya karmani drashta eva atmanishvare. If you do not know yourself, how is it that you will know Krishna? But because qualitative oneness is there, when we go through this process which is perfect, then you will see your real self along with the Supersoul. Drashta evatma ishvara. The simultaneous result is given that you have your own sakshatkar, personal appearance with your reality, your real form, that you are part and parcel of Krishna, subservient to the soul. And soul is accompanied by the super soul. They are never to be separated. But there are two individuals. One is supreme individual, another is dependent, independent and dependent. So, but the Mayavadis don't. It says, Atma sva Paramatma. Qualitative Atma and Paramatma, they are the same. But quantitative difference is there. But what do you mean by quantitative? Always Krishna is bigger. He can become smaller than Atma also. Anoraniyam mahato mahiyan. He can become smaller than the smallest and bigger than the big. So no space is unoccupied by the Paramatma feature. Is within the atom and even without atom. So where is the space? Sarvatraga. So that habit we have also acquired. Then we can go anywhere. Unless and until you had strong desire, you could not have come from India to Australia. But that's a little experience. If we can go anywhere, any day, you can go to hell even. Who cares? But the idea is that what is beneficial? What is benefit? A temporary benefit is not to be accounted. And that is given by material world also. But ultimate benefit, everlasting, that is called Shreya. Tasmat gurum prapadyete jigyasu Shreya uttamam. So the process is always perfect in Krishna consciousness. There is no alternative. Have you ever seen in other temple, if you have visited, that they follow different pattern or process? No. All the regimen are the same. All the instructions of Srila Prabhupada are same. But in what intensity are we following? That is the difference. I travel, you ask me. Melbourne is the best. Every time I have an occasion to tell about Melbourne, wherever I go and touch up this subject, I try to compare. You guys are not knowing yet, you know. But you are fortunate to get into a very grilling experience. Unless you are ground up fine, you know, your intelligence will be better. So, this is the aim of our life, not loitering in the temporary, sense gratificatory activities. Even Krishna has designed old age to retire from active entanglements. And if we do not take that opportunity, then don't blame Kali Yuga, okay? It's our own fault. Why do we have to blame Kali Yuga? We need to take responsibility for our own salvation. That is intelligence. Prabhupada said, Yayati Maharaj is teaching us. Oh my God. So चूहे मार कर बिल्ली हज करने जा रही है. He is not ashamed. He is, for 1,000 years he was living a sense gratificatory life. And now, all of a sudden, he became sadhu. Now, that is enviousness. Time has nothing to do, because time is very insignificant in the terms of eternity. Times become conspicuous by its absence in the spiritual world. That Prabhupada says. So our process, and we have to understand, I have been a devotee for about 50 years and I am not developing. No, you should value. Time is Krishna. Kalo aham asmi, lokakshaya pravruddhoham. He is not going to wait. Our age is not going to wait. You will think that when I will become old, then I will get initiated. Yeah, and your daddy and mommy tell, chant Hare Krishna. Oh, perfect. You are wearing a t-shirt of perfect. But it is a show only, okay? External show. Chant Hare Krishna. If you say can't, then you will never be liberated. You will be always confined. Always confined. Material nature doesn't allow anybody to live happily. Then don't blame, Maharaj didn't tell you. Okay? So, Yayati Maharaj was candid even after 1,000 years of sense gratification. And what's wrong if he's speaking the truth after 1,000 years or 10,000 years, or we are speaking after 50 years, or Prabhupada has been telling all the way. We say, there is a proverb, whenever you wake up, it's the morning for you. Okay? Whenever you wake up. If you have no tendency to wake up by instructions, and there are some very stubborn people, even though they are up, they don't want to get up. You can keep on shaking or do anything unless you pour cold water on him. Then he will wake up. So, material nature, unless and until she inflicts completely opposite miseries, opposite, then his desires are miseries. And eventually they come without invitation even. And we have been going in the life little happiness, but most of the miserable time. Little happiness. And that is also so flickering that this flickering happiness, even though experienced, why do we hanker more and more and more? As if there is nothing else to do? The obsession, madness, means total ignorance covers up and we are completely baffled in the life. But the words spoken by Srila Prabhupada can awaken because they are realized words. Only realization can affect and gives inspiration for the sadhak, the practitioner, to rise up. So we need to understand that at even such an age, when Yayati Maharaj is instructing, because he is instructing from the authoritative sources, it is the same, valid. Have you ever seen a drunkard speaking philosophy? You know. How come you have experience? But he is drunkard. He is mad already, lost his composure. But then he is agreeable. Knowingly we are beaten up by the modes of material nature, and yet in the intoxicated state we speak philosophy. But as soon as the intoxication is over, you go back. That is called pramatta. Nunam pramatta kurute vikarma jadendriya pritrana apnoti na sadhu manye atmanoyam asat api kleshada asadeha. Rishabdev is telling. Pramatta means madness. Nunam means all. Of course, nunam pramatta kurute vikarma. Rishabdev is a father who is teaching to his 100 sons. Nayam deha bhajan roke karstana kaman arhate vidabhujaniye tapo divyam putrakayena suddhe tasma saukyam brahma saukyam tvanantam. Don't go for petty happiness. If you want to have happiness, then you get the highest. Why lower? That is easily available to sukar and kukar. Sukar means pigs and kukar means dogs. Now, tapo divyam putrakaya. There's always an antidote. If it is, the material world is called the world of duality, opposites. So, both are there. There is material, there is spiritual also. Spiritual does not remain in the spiritual world. But when we are coming out from the spiritual world and thrown in the material world because of the reason, ignorance is only caused by a separate desire which is against Lord Krishna, enviousness of Krishna. So, without any exception, all the living entities have fallen into the delusion of duality. Without exception. So, if this is the root cause, why do we blame circumstances? Oh, I was grown up in poor family, so I had not opportunity to study. No. Mother Nature is the qualifying agent of Lord Krishna, and she controls. The demigods are also obedient to the Mother Nature to give whatever it is. And actually, nobody can bribe anybody. Yet, cut short, bribing the demigods, everything is good because we have envious nature. Enviousness doesn't act on the cause. Just like it's a serpent. Without cause it will strike. Because he is fearful. He is fearful. Who is not fearful? Those who are fearful are bound to die. Apavarga and pavarga, like that. Pavarga means paphababama, parishram, phal, bandhan, bhay, and mrityu. So, if the system is already set in with the material world, we have to always remain forgetful. So, only a realized person can never forget. So, since we are not realized, just like it is asked for, then we start putting up some kind of excuses. But they are petty excuses. We go for the main reason for what we have fallen is Ichha and Dvesh. Separate desire to lord over, which has arisen from animosity, enviousness. So, association is based on there should not be a separate desire and that not that any exist. So, Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Punaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvina Avaditamastu Ma Vidvishamahe Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. It is not something only to utter but to realize. For any person who is very careful about his own self, he may not be realized, but still appreciates the process is perfect. And association takes very, very deep rooting in make our life successful. So, in the eyes of Yayati Maharaj, Samsiddhim, or the perfection of human life, is to become self-realized. Self-realization is the first step. Self-realization is the first step to enter into spiritual life. So, whatever the circumstances are there existing for him, okay, I will go to the forest and live with the animals there. So he doesn't have bodily conception in the first place. He is considering human body is also one of the species of life. They are wild animals. I am not wild, but I am an animal. This body is an animal body. Homo sapiens, animal body. So, what's the difference? So this mentality is of an avadut. An avadut is self-realized. Avadut must be self-realized. There is a story of one big fat avadut was lying at the end of the town, and nobody was disturbing him. And somehow or another he was very fat. Because he developed ajagar vritti. Ajagar vritti means a mentality of a python. A python does not go much outside the territory of his hole. He stays there. And whoever comes nearby, he takes it as food. But he doesn't travel much to hunt. So, Prabhupada said, the python enters into the rat holes, eats the rat, and stays comfortably there. So, avadutas are also developing this mentality. Okay, if the food comes, I will take. But I won't enter into the activities affected by three modes of material nature. Thus they want to make a resolve that they will not become victimized because of the three modes of material nature. So one time Prahlad Maharaj was passing through and he was curious because Prahlad also was a self-realized person. And he's asking question, how come you are an avadut but so fat? So, avadut said, Prahlad Maharaj, because you are self-realized, I am telling you so you can understand. You know, I decided, after long life, I decided that I don't want to become subjugated by the effect of the three modes of material nature. So I resolve, I will not do anything compelled by the three modes of material nature. Otherwise, prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasaha. It means he has even won over his false ego. Otherwise, ahankaram vimudhatma kartaram iti manyate. I don't want to become involved as a doer. Let Prakriti, because Krishna says, let Prakriti does it. I'm not going to do. Sudama also did. He would not go and beg alms. If Krishna wants me to be in such a situation, okay, I will be. But he has wife and children. But he was not concerned. He was living on the total independence of Prakriti. but he never became forgetful about Krishna. So, Avadut was telling Prahlad, Maharaj, you are also above bodily conception of life, and thus I became above bodily conception of life. So, you will understand that we must require to come out from the effect of the three modes of material nature to realize ourselves. We are not this body. The body is made up of three modes of material nature and succumb to them. So, result is that if we are overpowered by the attacks of the modes and feeling weak, that means we don't have the right weapon to overcome the power of material nature. And that is invested only in Hare Krishna Mahamantra, to rise above the three modes of material nature. And how to expedite chanting? Brahmamurta, the best effect. No compromise, and devotees become successful. So, thus intelligence becomes guiding principle in Krishna consciousness. Whether one is graduate or not graduate, the principle remains the same thing, and it will affect positively. So we try to examine ourselves and others, that weakness of heart is there due to the effect of the modes of material nature. Weakness of the heart. So it's called Hridaya Daurbalyam. But Asatrushna means hankering for temporary material things. And the third effect is anarthas. Anarthas, unwanted things. It also arises from asatrushna. But aparadhas, not anarthas, but aparadhas are the third thing that prevent our becoming self-realized. So, the devotees are becoming introspective, how to eradicate these three things. So, that is the fundamental aspect of their realization. How? In Harinam Chintamani, this has been, why we are accepting the holy name is our life and mission. Because the spiritual potency is invested in the holy name. Even the soul is made up of spiritual potency. Because of the material effect, he is overpowered and forgetful. So, opportunity to make him remember and gradually come up to the, say, equations are there, then antidotes are there to overcome certain things. So, asatrushna, ignorance, whatever, these are the cause of our forgetfulness. And even chanting Hare Krishna along with the forgetfulness is also very much effective, because that is the power of the holy name. In other ages, other methods were there, all right? And that may not be applied because it is beyond our even perception. But nonetheless, Krishna is so kind that he is establishing the Yuga Dharma. And somehow or another, fortunately, Yoga Dharma is also established in India, Bharatvarsha. Corruption also started from India. Materialism is also started. India is a cradle of the culture. Because otherwise, if some superior civilization is that they must be still existing. Why we are still existing? Even everybody tries to smash us down. That is the power. And rest assured, chanting Hare Krishna is the greatest weapon to thwart all the ignorant and activities of ignorance. So, we need to contemplate and think, let's make our chanting so potent that that is the perfection of available. Hare Krishna. Any question? Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you for the nice class. Maharaj, you were talking about association. So my question is, how do you make our association always Krishna-centered? Because at schools, most of the time when we're at schools, most of my friends are not Krishna conscious, and they don't talk about Krishna or do not have any thoughts related to Krishna.
You associate with only those who are favorable to Krishna. And if you have to associate with so-called just for the sake of association, not taking anything from them. Just like you take prasadam, even lunch at your school or wherever you are, but you don't exchange with something else, right? So similarly, confirmation about the process of our perfection will show by our practice. And everybody wants to be happy. You still remain happy. How did Prahlad associated with the children of demons? Even though they were... So there is a great example to not to imitate but understand. You may think, I cannot be Prahlad, but Prahlad Maharaj taught us. Right? And to be always remain safe. Okay? Prahlad, when he was born, even though all the ills were there, okay, he was exposed to physical death so many times. Okay? But here also, if not death, but miseries will be there. Death is not pleasant, it's always miserable. So similarly, we protect ourselves nicely. We do not remain envious to any situations, good or bad. It's said, good or bad, both are same. Dvaite bhadra abhadra sakali saman. Yai bhalo, yai mand, sab manodharma. It's a mental concoction. This is good, this is bad. No. Krishna consciousness is beyond good or bad. It's an eternal, but it gives perfect solution to all the dilemmas that we have. It's good that you are grown up in Krishna consciousness. So where there is Krishna consciousness, you get your, fuel of Krishna consciousness. That is the association. Others are little, they are not eternal associations. Mine is over?
Yeah.
Oh. I think I am speaking too much. Okay, please tell again.
Why is it significant to chant in Brahma Muhurtam
Brahma Muhurta.
other times of the day?
Yeah, because Brahma Muhurta exerts mode of goodness. Material nature is made up of three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. Passionate nature starts by sunrise, all the day long. But in sunset, mode of ignorance will be prevailing. So what is left out is Vibhavari time. That is Brahma Muhurta. Brahma Muhurta is all auspicious by its nature of mode of goodness. So, physically, if we opt for chanting in Brahma Muhurta, our rounds will be perfectly perceived through the soul. We will be empowered faster. Other modes are going to be obstacles. Still, in the congregational manual development, how if you can finish your rounds up to 10 o'clock, it's fine. Is it not? Yeah? Those who have gone through this Bhakti Vriksha manual, you have to give the chart, right? Who is finishing their rounds before Brahma Muhurta? Who is finishing up to 10 o'clock? And who is dragging all day long? So the qualitativeness of our chanting is aided better in Brahma Muhurta. Even though we may be troubled, but seeing the higher purpose, we try to become intelligent to discriminate between the effects of lower modes and higher mode. So that is, and human being has been endowed with this kind of intelligence that will lead us to the Sat, means eternal effect. Okay? Good. Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for the wonderful class. Maharaj, we have heard that deities are non-different from Krishna and so is the holy name. So in terms of deities, I still find it easy to relate that they are the Lord themselves, but I personally only hear it, so I personally understand the holy name is Krishna because I've heard it. But personally, I'm not able to that much perceive it. So how to...
Yeah, but the divinity cannot be perceived through our blunt senses. And have you seen Murti Puja? Murti Puja. Lord Shiva, Ganesh, Parvati. How do they worship? Anybody can go and worship in this and that. That is not... we are not Murti Pujak. The deities means they are Sakshat. Now, that is a lofty ideal. But philosophically, the Paramatma feature is everywhere. So, from that level, we have to understand the Supreme and develop our faith. If the pujari is endowed with all the perfect process how to worship, do you know who is he dealing with? He is dealing with Vigraha, another name of the body that can reciprocate his sentient feelings. All right? That is Vigraha. But that comes after. the divinity has to be understood through the holy name. You can't understand divinity directly from having your blunt eyes seeing the deity. The first and foremost service of all our senses is Sevanam Mukhi Jivadau Swayam Spirati. That's why holy name has to be taken. If you do not chant the holy name, Krishna will never appear, even though you see. So, we have been habituated to go to the temple, but we do not understand. So our situation is a neophyte. Unless a neophyte enters into the recommended process of hearing and chanting, then he will understand the Paramatma Tattva. So gradually develop. If our foundation is weak, sentimental, it is not intellectual. But this explanation is based on intellectual application and it works. So phalena parichiyate. We should be accepting by the result. That is intelligence. Yes.
Thank you very much, Guru Maharaj. Throughout the talk, you stressed on the importance of holy name, Gurudev, and also the potency. And then you also cautioned us about aparadhas, most specifically the first aparadha, Vaishnava aparadha. Vaishnava aparadha we can commit knowingly, but sometimes it can be accidental, we are unaware. So my question is, Guru Maharaj, is there any way we can, is there any kwacha, is there any way we can be safe from Vaishnava aparadha?
Subtle. Never think of it. And if you have this kind of aparadha in your mind, but you have not grossly performed that aparadha, better remain in association and it will dissolve. But you cannot be mental on that basis. Then, oh, I was thinking bad about him. Let me go and confess to him. The poor guy will be startled. Oh, Baba, you did not do any aparadhas. Why do you have to come? No. We have to rise above this mental platform. Aparadha, which has been grossly committed, then it becomes aparadhas. Thinking of aparadha has to be prevented, and only in association of the devotees you will be able to prevent. Because there are so many to witness, you will never think of aparadha. That is the effect of the association. And in association, you will receive the potency of the Lord. Satam prasanga mama virya samvidha. Virya means the potency, that transcendental potency. That is more needed. So, most of the aparadhas are going to be eradicated by chanting in association of the devotees. But gross aparadha, the first one, to blaspheme a devotee who has dedicated his life in propagating the holy name of the Lord, must be prevented at any cost. Only remedy is what Durvasa experienced. Devotees are not like Durvasas, But yet, if they are sincere, if they have committed, please beg the offense. Forgive me. If you have committed and if he is knowing, then we must. But in mind, who knows?
Gurudev, I heard that in one lecture that Sri Rupa and Sanatan Goswami, they were in a kutia and they were laughing, and then one Vaishnava was going, but they didn't know about it, and the Vaishnava thought they were laughing at him, and then Sri Rupa Goswami lost his taste for chanting, and then he went to Sanatan Goswami and he asked, and then Sanatan Goswami, his guru, with his powers, he said, "You have offended one Vaishnava," which he didn't know about. So, and these kind of things.
How could one laugh without seeing a person?
Because they were in the kutia, they were not seeing outside.
No, but if they are not seeing, but the person was there, there must be some kind of a recognition. Is it accidental that they were laughing at the same person without knowing?
They didn't know that that person is passing by. So
Huh?
they didn't know that they are oblivious of that person is passing by. So sometimes, like we're talking few devotees, we few devotees are talking, and then accidentally we may hurt someone. Like, oh, that person may think that, oh, he's laughing at us, but in fact not. So it's accidental offense.
Unintentional.
Unintentional.
Yes, unintentional. Yeah. And if they have gone to Sanatan Goswami for advice, then they can go and beg the forgiveness. But the poor guy doesn't know. Do you think he's going to forgive? Oh, no, you have not committed any offense.
Yeah.
So, he is the judge. He doesn't want to disturb Sanatan Goswami or Rupa Goswami for anything. But everybody is doing their duty. Right? Knowingly, unknowingly. Therefore, Rupa and Sanatan, Sankhya Purvaka Nama Gana Native, they adopted a principle that I want to pay my Sakshat Dandavat Pranam to the Vaishnavas 108 times. So whoever comes, whoever passes through, they were adopting this kind of stern discipline. Everything is to be counted, Sankhya Purvak. Why we are chanting 16 round? Sankhya Purvaka Nama Gana Niti. Nati means pay obeisances. But that's the rule. It is an internal, and one can develop such discipline internally. Because knowingly or unknowingly, we keep on committing such offenses. Ajnanad athva jnanad ashubham yan maya kritam kshamasvam tat sarvam dasyaneva granaman sthiti yatra smati vacha madiyam yadi chestitam. You are right, my dear Lord. Please, but forgive me. Dasoham ati mamatva kshamasva madhusudana. Because pratigyatava govinda name bhakta pranashyati. That is the only thing I am going to read. I will beg my offenses knowingly or unknowingly committed. So, if it is unknowingly committed, please forgive me. But Krishna will be the direct medium. If you do not know who is passing through and accidentally, the person is there. But if he is taking any offense, then you will become an offender. And the same, suppose if I am offended. And the offender realizes that he must beg forgiveness. And if he comes and begs to forgive, and if I don't forgive, then am I Vaishnava? We have to see both sides. If I do not forgive, then what kind of Vaishnava I am? This is a reciprocation, and we must be candid enough to reciprocate properly. Because aparadas means activities of material nature, and that we are trying to employ in Krishna's service. Unknowingly, unknowingly, it might happen. Or you have also come for the service and somebody is taking your service and you may be offended and we may quibble around, but what is the use? You took away my service, and that will be an aparadha. So everything is very practical. You will become introspective of your own faults, not somebody else's fault. That is the quality of Vaishnavism. I am responsible Vaishnava, like that. All right. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama